Will spend at least 20 years in prison for killing her grandson. It was an emotional day.
Getting a life sentence can make the most hardened criminal buckle. Now all hope is lost and you're left to face the consequences of your actions. These are female convicts reacting to life sentences.
I'm going to commit you to the Department of Corrections, Ms. Jackson, for the middle term of 6 years for the reasons I've...
Say hello to Sandra Lane, a grandmother convicted of murdering her grandson. Now her reaction to the sentencing shows that she's more concerned about her well-being than feeling remorse for killing her grandbaby.
Sandra Lane will spend at least 20 years in prison for killing her grandson. It was an emotional day in the court. Sandra Lane looking shocked by the very real possibility that she will die in prison. Her own daughter.
A woman who tortured and murdered her daughter is sentenced. Torturing and murdering your own daughter is just downright evil. Judge Vonda Evans got really upset while reading her actions out to her. I mean, I'd be pretty pissed too. Who wouldn't be?
You were never a mother to your child. You were a female breeder who neglected your child for the love of a bum named Brad. In the animal kingdom, male lions only kill cubs that are not related to them. Then they impregnate the lioness with his offspring. This sick logic was practiced in the home of Brad the bum.
It's damn near heartbreaking to think about what this precious baby went through. The judge is so furious that she's stumbling through her own words. Now when it got to her sentencing, check out how she reacted.
This time the court is going to commit you to the Michigan Department of Corrections for no less than 30 years, no more than 60 years. You have 42 days to appeal my decision. Is that possible?
No, I'm just going to make a request.
What?
Have her file be marked medical because she has some ongoing serious medical conditions, so that the Department of Corrections can properly evaluate her once she arrives. For a pretrial tomorrow, it will ask that that be closed out in light of the sentence she's receiving today.
Well, that's another judge's decision. The court's going to give you 30 to 60 years in the Michigan Department of Corrections with the, and mark the file medical. You have 330 days credit. But ma'am, there's nothing.
That's one cold reaction. She didn't show any emotion. Now that's one way to know a psychopath right there. We got Roxana, a 17-year-old who sliced her younger brother's throat. Now her sentencing is the type that tugs at your heartstrings.
She was misled and used by an older adult. This has been proven in court. However, nothing will benefit this child by sending her to jail. She made some poor choices which led her to this conviction. She had limited guidance, as my husband and I were not allowed to speak to her while in court. The attorney I had paid to represent her was removed by the court, and a court-appointed attorney who now represents her had her sign a plea deal.
Now she's been goaded to commit the crime by an older male and wanted to prevent getting prosecuted for sleeping with an underage girl. The plan was for her to kill her whole family, and she started with her younger brother while he was asleep at 2 a.m. Here's her addressing the court.
I would like to apologize to my family for not being the daughter they wished I would be, and I promise that I will get better no matter what happens, and I will see.
A shriek was all everybody in the court heard, followed by her slumping. It got worse when a family member wouldn't stop shrieking long after the convict was already on the floor. Now what's better than one? Two. Turns out 2 females are getting life sentences. Chaos descended in the court. The shrieking family member wouldn't shut up. One convict was still on the floor while the other was struggling to stay in her seat.
Ugly, heartless, cold monster, and that's all you'll ever be.
The decision that Betty Duarte made that night to drink and get into a vehicle and drive changed my family's world. She had no regard for human life or regard for the effects it could have on others.
We're looking at a 29-year-old San Clemente woman who was sentenced to 51 years to life in prison. This was for a DUI crash in Huntington Beach that killed 3 Las Vegas students visiting on spring break. When the family gave statements in court, they didn't hold back.
The right state of mind mentally and emotionally. I didn't think further into the consequences. I just want to say that I'm truly sorry, and maybe one day you will forgive me.
Now, she was remorseful. It was in tears as videos of the children were played in court. Now, here's her statement after the sentencing.
Upon our oaths, do find the defendant as to count 1, first-degree murder, guilty. 5 jurors find premeditated. 0 find felony murder. Is this your true verdict, so say you want it all?
I just wanted to scream and shout.
The discovery of Travis Alexander's body, riddled with stab wounds, his throat slit and shot in the back of the head, shocked his friends and his family. What didn't shock him was when Arizona police charged his on-again, off-again girlfriend, Jodi Arias, with his murder.
And the rest of my life in prison. It'll either be shortened or not. If it's shortened, the people who will hurt the most are my family. I'm asking you, please, please don't do that to them. I've already hurt them so badly, along with so many other people. I want everyone's healing to begin. Thank you.
I don't think she got a fair trial. She wasn't provided the best possible defense by her lead attorney.
When it was time for her to make a plea for the jury before the sentencing, emotions are gone and she's as cold as they come.